In a small coastal village, along the shores lived a humble fisherman named Kwame and his wife Abina. Their home was made of mud walls and a fragile thatched roof that trembled whenever the strong ocean winds blew. They owned almost nothing, and joy seemed like a visitor who had forgotten their address. Abina was a harsh woman. She never loved Kwame and constantly mocked him. Many nights, the house had no food, and that only made her bitterness grow. Every morning, before the golden sun touched the water, Kwame picked up his old, torn fishing net and walked toward the sea. He battled the waves from sunrise to sunset, casting his net again and again, but it always came up empty. Other fishermen returned with baskets full of tilapia and red fish. Their wives cooked smoky stews, their children laughed, and their homes were filled with warmth. But Kwame, blessed with a pure heart yet cursed with bad luck, returned with nothing but exhaustion. Abina's anger exploded every evening. "You're useless, Kwame. Other men bring fish home, but you bring only stories and empty hands." Kwame quietly endured her insults, though his heart ached. Many times, he swallowed his pride and approached the other fishermen. "Brothers, please give me a little fish. There's nothing at home to eat." But they shoved him away. "Go and work harder, Kwame. Everyone is struggling." One night, Kwame staggered home weak and hungry. He found Abina already asleep on a mat, her face tight with frustration. He noticed a few grains of rice scattered near an old pot. When he lifted the lid, he saw a small portion of cooked food. She had eaten without him. But instead of anger, a strange warmth filled his heart. "At least she has eaten," he whispered. He covered the pot and lay on an empty stomach, but with peace in his heart. The next morning, Abina warned, "If you return without fish today, I'm going back to my mother's house." Kwame paddled far into the deep sea that day. He cast his net with all his strength. But when the sun set, his net was still empty. That night, Abina kept her promise. She packed her clothes and stormed out angrily. "I cannot stay with a man who brings nothing home." Kwame begged her to stay, but she left without looking back. The house became silent. Still, Kwame did not give up. Each morning, he returned to the sea, and each evening returned with nothing. But every day he tried again. One bright morning, as the waves danced under the rising sun, Kwame whispered a prayer into the wind. "Great sea, please help me. Just once." Hours later, his net felt heavy. Kwame's heart pounded. He dragged it toward his canoe and found one large fish and 3 small ones inside. He rejoiced until he noticed something strange. The fish were crying. The large fish spoke in a trembling voice. "Fisherman, these are my children. Please release us. Do not separate me from them." Kwame froze. He thought of his empty home, his hunger, Abina's insults, the years of suffering. But then he remembered how he had once slept hungry but felt comfort knowing Abina had eaten. Slowly, he untangled the fish. "Go in peace." The fish swam away into the deep. That night, Kwame slept hungry again, but his soul was calm. The next morning, as he sat by the shore, the huge fish returned, glowing like a spirit of the sea. "Kwame," she said, "you saved my children. Your heart is pure. Every night, come to the shore, and I will give you the treasures of the ocean." That evening, she brought him a shining piece of gold. Kwame sold it and bought food, clothes, new nets, and a stronger canoe. Night after night, she brought him more gold. Slowly, Kwame's life transformed. He rebuilt his home with clay bricks, bought new fishing boats, and became the most generous man in the village. He gave food to the poor, clothes to widows, and school fees for the children. Everyone admired him. When Abina heard that Kwame had become wealthy, she rushed back. "Kwame, forgive me. I was wrong." Kwame forgave her because his heart was still kind, but he knew she returned only because of his riches. Still, he let her stay. Years passed. Kwame became a respected elder. Every night, he visited the shore to meet the magical fish who had become his truest friend. One evening, she spoke softly. "Kwame, my time in these waters is over. I must return to the deep ocean. You showed kindness when you had nothing. Never forget that kindness." Kwame wept as she disappeared beneath the waves. Even the sea seemed to mourn her. He never became proud of his wealth. He continued helping everyone until he died as the most honored man in the village. The village elders still say, "Blessed is the one who shows kindness when he has nothing, for the sea remembers and rewards a good heart."
If you enjoyed this story, like, comment, and subscribe to African Folktale by Zamper for more touching African stories filled with wisdom, emotion, and life lessons. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new story.